Okay, welcome back, guys. It's great to be with you for another value edition of Zip Crypto News, the news where we try to increase your value and not your consumption. We try to compress it down where we see meaningful value and meaningful change with blockchain and crypto world news. So let's go ahead, guys. We're going to look at some amazing news coming out of Southeast Asia today, and it's at the core of my heart. Philippines is like a second home to me, and also I've been to Thailand. I haven't been to Malaysia and haven't been to many other Southeast Asian nations, but it's a wonderful location. I've been to Bali in Philippines, and I can see so much development and really helping the community and the people, particularly those who do not have the everyday functions. We talk about banking and how many countries are still in the unbanked, and how blockchain and crypto technology can help that. But here on an article here, I'll put it in the link notes, Alliance Rural Electrification blog has stated that only 14% of the global population still lack access to electricity. Okay, then that's their recent data, so I'll put that into the show notes. That's just something to keep in mind as we go ahead and look at today's amazing, beautiful news, I call it. And thank you to my lovely wife. She sent me over this news. And so we can see that there's a lot of things going on in the blockchain world in Southeast Asia. And it's going to really thrive there. It's a beautiful thing happening for the communities of Malaysia and Thailand and many other nations, Vietnam and many other nations, I believe, will come into the field and have a footprint to play in it. Each country there will have a unique angle and a unique strength to be able to dive in, and I believe that can assist in good communications with those countries. And also, of course, that's going to have a great, beautiful effect in and around the world, of course. So I just will put this into the show notes, the link, but I want to focus on the energizing chain. Notice in this news, the Crypto Insider News, which I'll give you the link and the source, but they say here in the Philippines, the energy sector is taking a leaf out of a Japanese book and taking the blockchain initiative, guys. Philippines government believes that some 17% of the country has limited access. So this is another source of data there, and they're saying 17% in the Philippines has no access to electricity. So that's amazing, guys. And I know that we've, myself included, have focused on the unbanked, and that is, yes, a very important mission, I believe, for us as entrepreneurs in the crypto and blockchain industry. But also, of course, people without electricity is still very, very important, that everyone has a good supply and a constant supply of electricity. I know for myself personally, going and traveling to the Philippines with my wife and even being with the family, at times there has been fortunately, no one has died or suffered badly injured in my time, or my immediate family, I should say. But we have had typhoon experience there, and there was time there with for a number of days, I think it was, that my family was without electricity, and it was only those who were fortunate to have generators or whatnot that had some form of electricity. So if we can compress that down and make a change, and if you're an entrepreneur, I definitely encourage you to look at this space and look with with new eyes and new lens through what's going to take place and the beauty all around us there in the Southeast Asia. So they go on and they say that per Energo, I'm not sure how you say that, per Energo Labs, most it's a startup, and they're a Chinese startup, and most power plants generation sites, they are saying, in the Philippines are located at some distant load centres, guys, utilising long-distance transmission lines, and can often be damaged and are risky and costly to operate. Energo Labs solution claims the company would decentralize generation and let the consumers share electricity more efficiently. So those who haven't been to Southeast Asia or a developing country, from my personal experience, I can share that there is a long distance, and when these things happen, particularly in rural areas where they don't have as much development, they don't have the resources, the infrastructure, and most importantly, the logistics, because of the remote, particularly I can say on the mountain provinces, particularly around Baguio where I've been, that it can be quite difficult, even if you had the most best flying transport, helicopters and whatnot. It would still be difficult, even if they had that sort of infrastructure to be able to revive the network in such a short time. So I believe this is a very good mission for blockchain and for the Filipino community and any developing country that has these struggles, not just financially, but because of the infrastructure and the setup of the country, the geographical location, and all of that, the environment, the logistics, and everything. It can make it difficult, even if you pounded the money in to these countries. Blockchain, I think, goes further distance than even if everyone became non-greedy tomorrow and put in all their loads of cash into these countries. Blockchain is such a beautiful thing. It goes far beyond even the permission and gratitude to share. That is what I believe anyway, guys. I don't know your feelings on the blockchain, but I know even the most hard-hearted people towards Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are open to the blockchain. And that is quite interesting, I find. And they go on and say in this article that almost all of the country's financial services institutions are talking about blockchain, and still a lot of them are thinking of implementing. So there's a lot of discussions going on in the Philippines and Southeast Asia, and it's a really great thing for these nations. Particularly they're on the tropical The tropical countries, there's many difficulties because of living in a tropical environment than, maybe living in some, even say, example where I'm living here in Victoria, in Australia. We don't have the difficulties of landslides as much, earthquakes as much, and strong winds like tornadoes and all that type of things. But a lot of these tropical nations do have them constantly. Blockchain is still in its early stage in development in Southeast Asia. They go on, especially in Thailand, but Thailand's taking a leak, as they say in this article, and there is true sense of belief in the technology and could change the way the whole region does business, guys. And so if you're an entrepreneurial-minded person or a missionary-minded person, I believe this is a very powerful article to divulge in. So I'm going to put this in the show notes and news notes as a source. And I just want to go ahead and show you a little bit more about this Energizer Energo Labs blockchain is doing in an article. So they've been around for a while, guys. This is an article going back in October 2012, 2017. They said, okay, so it's they're even backing up what was stated in the later article. 17% of Filipinos today have no access to electricity. Moreover, given the frequency of the nature of the disasters of the country, just as I just shared from my experiences compared to here, 3 main public grids in the Philippines are prone to damage and size unstable electricity. And so the generation sites are far more load centres, leading to distance transmissions, what we've been over already. And so they plan to ensure that the energy security is such a location by decentralizing the generation and creating this decentralized anonymous energy DAE community. And so you can share the power with the consumers and the neighborhood. So I'll also put this article in the show notes. I think it has a backing up of the later article, and it's really beautiful news. I'll also give in the links in the show notes the link to Energo website, so you can read over about them, and you can even look at their social. And they're very engaging on the Facebook, I see, and they also have Twitter, and they're also active there. And recently, just as recently as June the 15th, they have come to a partnership with a Korean partnership, to further the process and further the infrastructure and the development of this wonderful blockchain technology, which will hopefully help people in the Philippines and Southeast Asia, and hopefully around the world in the future, to be have electricity, and not just have electricity, but have it very stable. I don't know about where you live, but in Australia we're very fortunate. Most of our, well, I'm not sure how much, but anyway, I'm on coal grid still. I'm not on solar and that yet, but many parts are going solar. But anyway, guys, we don't have the problems of brownouts and all of that thing, whereas a lot of people in these different countries have problems of brownouts. And brownouts, if you're not familiar with brownouts, well, particularly if you've got a desktop and probably even a laptop, it's going to either turn it off or put it into standby mode. So these are all ways that we can further, as a community, further our mission. So hopefully this does inspire you, and see down below our sponsor, Bitcoin Thrive Blazer. We are building a wonderful community where we support one another, building cryptocurrency and supporting in the education and the understanding of around wealth creation, not just in the cryptocurrency. And I'll share that sponsorship link down below also. So thank you for your time, guys, and I hope you found some value today. Until next time, this is Brian wishing you a great morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Have a great day.